Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to I've Got Next. I'm joined by Smeef Erickson,
Oh,
and we're jumping back into Control. As a little refresher, we are trying to deactivate the lockdown.
I like that her gun is just more and more turning into the demon blaster from Hellboy or whatever the name of his gun is.
Yeah, yeah, or if it's just made of magnets and they're slowly losing power.
Can she if she's tired of holding it, she can just stick it on the fridge?
It's what she uses to hold up her kids' drawings. I like to imagine, the gritty cop remake as she comes home from a long day and just slaps the gun onto the fridge.
And her
Curses.
her kids just drawing demonic apparitions. We're gonna put this right here.
So we are headed to meet the best character in the game, Audie, and he's got some work for us.
Like the car.
Yes. Also, I love he has a poster of himself
I thought that
on
was a
his
window.
office door. Nope.
And he's in the. This has. That's like a Quentin Tarantino shot.
You
Yep.
got the job. It's place for congratulations. Yippee, son.
Whew, that rug's not fooling anybody,
It
buddy.
happened in the last draw.
I don't know. He's weird enough that it might just be actual hair.
Need an assistant.
Funny thing is, I've been a janitor. I'm more at home in that role than as the director.
Is she a ventriloquist?
Only
These are her
accidentally
internal
seems to
monologues.
see
I know.
us.
I was making it for it.
Oh, okay.
Auntie, look, we need to get the lockdown lifted. Otherwise, I can't get to the other sectors. Can you help me get to the
Yes,
override?
janitor. Do you have
Yes,
high
yes.
security clearance?
Easy peasy. It's just around the corner. But first, we need to get you working.
What's the director of Mulholland Drive?
Small couple of hours.
The director of
Something tells me it's
well,
gonna be
actually, I can look while we're.
You
Is there an
can
audio
manage
stutter, or am I hearing
documentaries.
that?
I can tell you are not the yesterday's
I don't hear any
grouses.
audio stutters.
That's why you
Okay.
make a great assistant. Very well. I'll hit the facts
It's
of the
echoing
day.
on my end, but I can deal.
Nämä on perkele suoraan, että this house has a vermin problem. A bad one. They
Oh.
already messed up the
He spoke
cooling
Swedish.
pumps.
Mm-hmm,
The power
He peppers it in
generators,
every once in a while.
power
Kind of like when Hollywood wants to let you know that a person is from the street in Spanish. They'll call people ese.
The situation needs to be fixed before the plant blows up. And we all disappear like a fart in Sahara.
Trying my best to keep up with this. Fix the coolant pumps.
They do like their
and
close-ups. I mean,
power
they're
generators
essentially
like
just
the
showing off
plant.
look how textured the faces are.
Don't you worry.
Oh, you'll love this.
Clear
Mulholland
instructions.
Drive was David Lynch.
You'll catch
That's
the
what, yeah, so
before
David
I
Lynch
go
hair.
on vacation.
It's just slowly like his hair is trying to escape his head.
You can do later when you have
Oh man,
Vacation.
I love that. I love that slapper he put out. What was it back in 20? 2012 or something?
Oh,
he had a red shirt.
shirt.
I think you
So I
showed
didn't
it
ca-
to me. Where he's playing some sort of he's playing piano and a bunch of kids are doing, I don't know, they're enacting the music video.
The door in the back. That's great. Thank you.
It's like smearing shit on the wall is crazy, but entertaining in that respect.
Right. So Audie kind of let us in on a few things, in that the power plant is going to go critical if we don't fix a few things. And he has these little side missions for us. Like we got to burn some trash.
Burn the trash. Throw it in the fire. Burn it all. Burn it into a reindeer, not into a moose.
All right, I followed you until that point.
So good. And he talks about he's going on vacation soon, so we're about to take over as head janitor.
Oh. And head of the department?
Yeah.
This is turning into Skyrim to where you just, like, lead all the factions.
I mean, to be fair, Audie just thinks that we got the assistant janitor's job. At least the way he tells it. Just open that door back to where we came from, because everything is a circle.
Is that one of those, like, after you went through the dungeon, here's an easy exit?
There is a lot of that. They also just happen to kind of... There's a lot of loops in their architecture, which I think I mentioned in episode 1, but is very kind of The Shining.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what happens again if that thing blows up?
Power. Exploding.
Thanks, Trench.
Too much. Director's duty.
Too much duty. Got it.
Keep the lights on.
Adjective noun.
Might as well watch a little video.
Yeah.
See what the crap he was talking about.
God, smoking's cool.
That it is.
Job. I never wanted power. I purposefully avoided it. Didn't trust it. Didn't want to rely on it. Northmoor was all about power. A man like an explosion, hungry for authority, for order, for more. Until it was too much. I had to find a solution in the end. Contain the situation. Northmoor never liked me, but he went along with it, to his credit.
Man, that is a horrible existence. I'm permanently backlit, and there's nothing in here to do.
A director's most basic duty is to keep the lights on.
Yeah.
Here's to you, Northmoor.
I don't, if he's just limbo, or is this what it likes to talk to the,
But I was there
on the hotline?
the whole time, keeping my head down, working my ass off. I had nothing.
A bit of an interesting play with the dialogue and the words here is they talk about there's a reason why we picked up Northmoor's file here. The power plant itself is referred to as Northmoor. And as we go through... Oh yeah, I forgot we got the merry-go-round horse that lets me air dodge.
SCP.
Yeah. And the power plant itself is called Northmoor, and as you will learn going through here, is a giant containment unit for something that is generating massive amounts of power. So it's heavily implied that Northmoor became something. This is... And it's him trapped inside the power plant there.
Okay.
Like their little parking lot for carts there. No real purpose. But they've got an off-brand DeWalt drill, the Schultz.
Nice. The batteries are not interchangeable.
No, and they cost $70 a piece.
When did this game come out?
Boy, I remember it, but it has been a little bit.
I can look it up. It was
Dangerous out here, lady.
2019.
Chief Arish. He's just inside. He'll help you.
So 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Ma'am, hey, Chief Arish, FBC Security.
I'm right here. Use your inside voice, please.
This is a store brand Benedict Cumberbatch.
Ah,
We're on the same side.
My name is Jesse Faden.
I sure
I'm
do
here to
like
inform the
banky dank
director of override
flimblebops.
to get the lockdown lifted.
Yeah, Chief Arish, FBC Security. I'm just...
Me, Chief.
Director.
I like how he just points at himself.
It's a pleasure. Ma'am.
Let's skip the formalities, please.
Right. Faden. Ma'am. Look, as you can probably tell, It's a bit of a shit show down here.
That's a good looking tie too.
His head
like
seems a
it's
bit
gonna-
too large for the rest of him.
It does. He also is like kind of short,
My crews keep getting shot before they have a
which is always interesting when games add this because it's like, hey, we had to change the character model a little bit.
It's what we call the power plant. You know, the big rumbling metal thing.
Everybody is a little awkward
Salvador
looking
had
though
security
in
asked
this.
me to protect it in case of an attack.
His eyes are just a little too far apart.
Dangerous. Dr. Darling seemed to know it would be a target.
Darling. He's here?
Kind of doing
Came
a
down a few days ago, before everything went to hell.
what was that?
He's out of it. Smelled like a bar
No,
man.
I guess you can call it Uncanny Valley.
And how he only had one large-scale HRA, but that he needed it somewhere else. Still, at least he gave us these personal HRAs before he left. Hey, did I mention that he was tearing his clothes off? Crazy dude.
Darling knew the hiss was coming.
Listen, I love playing 20 questions as much as the next guy, but we have got to get the water and electrical.
Boy, he is
system
tiny
repaired.
in that camp by that angle.
I'll have my guys on the door that for you.
I'll take care of it. You stay and keep the hiss away from the plant if you can.
The hiss? That's what we're calling him? Oh, that's catchy. Oh, listen, the radio.
Wait, you work for the organization? This is the first you're hearing of that?
Well, it is Jesse did create the name Hiss.
Oh, okay.
I'll keep an eye out for it.
In the all the reports
Sure
we
has a lot of
read on
faith
it
in his boss.
is basically the person in executive kind of making reports after the fact here.
What's your read on all this?
God, I've worn this
When
outfit.
converters and coolant pumps are working again, we should be able to
No,
get
the security guard.
to a safe temperature.
Yeah.
I hope.
Oh yeah, questions.
What do you know about the hiss?
Not much, only what I've seen. Well, they use the same tactics that Marshall and Salvador taught us, which makes me think that the hiss haven't completely erased the people inside, which is a pretty fucking horrible thought. Or they're just using whatever they find in
So-
the victims' heads. In any case,
Are you also trying to discover a way to, I guess,
Why do you think
bring
that is?
people back
shit, I don't know. They want to make my life harder?
that have been
So we
zombie audios?
tried once in
Yes.
the previous app, and it just kind of failed. So I don't know that our priority is rescuing versus stopping the hiss, and then seeing what we can do.
And you like your job?
I love it. You know, everyone thinks that maintenance is the lowest rung on the ladder just because we fix pipes instead of writing memos, but I gotta be honest. These are the bravest people in the goddamn building. I'm proud of
I would like to play this
I've
game
done a
as
few
just
odd
like
jobs
the
with these
plumber.
kind of folks.
Mm-hmm.
They say what they mean. I like
When it's
that.
like, hey, one of these pipes is like spewing blood everywhere. Can you fix that?
What exactly is the power plant?
Listen, I only know what Salvador told me.
Yeah, just going to the lunchroom.
All the electricity.
Ah, hey, Dave, you get another messy
It's
one?
got two very simple rules. Rule one, keep
Just
it below a certain temperature.
Somebody being
Rule
chewed on
two,
by some malevolent ghost, like, yeah, there's a rough one out there today.
it's classified.
Oh,
so I
poor
shouldn't-
Marge.
Sounds
really
like
liked him,
secrets
too.
are standard operating procedure around here.
Oh, yeah, it's all part of the job.
I got a gun.
These camera angles are so inconsistent. Now he's very tall.
Not much. I think it's director only. Salvador told me by the time he saw Trench use it. Sounds like that gun can do some serious damage. Yeah, I did see pictures of it once, though, and it looks different to that thing you're carrying. You modded or something? It's new.
Yeah, we're super into modding our weapons.
Given the circumstances, I'd say new is our best bet.
Do you know this Ati guy?
Of course. He's my favorite coffee break buddy. Dude has got some crazy stories. He probably knows more than anyone else around here. You can make sense of what he's saying.
Any idea?
He also
where he's
only
from?
makes sense about 30% of the time.
Sweden.
He's from where he's from. Look, there are just some stones that are better left unturned. You know?
Like this one time, I asked him if he wanted a cup of coffee, and he
I should
said,
be going.
pour him a salmon.
Right. We got a lockdown to lift.
I'm sure there was a metaphor, but I didn't catch it.
I wonder if these are all like stereotypes in Scandinavian countries. Like, yeah, of course, that makes perfect sense. Why would you not pour him a salmon?
What's your read?
Energy conversion's well below the acceptable percentage.
Yeah, the only Swedish I've ever learned was
the NSC is still holding. When it blows,
Swedish chef from the Muppets, and
Thanks, Frank.
I'm starting to think he's not the most reliable resource.
Yeah, I think so. I like this. So this is just like, hey, don't mess with Audie at all. Like, he's super important. Don't talk to him. Like, don't try and stop him from going anywhere. He does his own thing. We also get some more hints that Trench and Darling were having it out somehow. Alright.
Oh. Drop the base.
Do a little level up.
I do. I'm a fan of skill trees. They make a lot more sense to me than what some of the games are doing, where they just have everything in list form.
So now we're gonna get our first, I believe so.
That looks like Derringer.
Yep. So we have now created our first alternate mode for the service weapon, and this one is a shotgun.
Nice.
And we'll look at the little side missions, so we haven't done anything yet. These just continually kind of pop up over time. There's no like penalty for not doing them. They're just kind of extra little weapon
quest?
mods and things. Yeah, but they're like, hey, kill 5 enemies with the shotgun. Kind of side quest. Nothing too exciting. I like how ominous the power plant looks.
So I'm guessing it is a nuclear power plant?
So not particularly. It is, I would say, more supernatural from reading in it. Like, it theoretically contains the creature that Northmore became.
Okay. Ooh, a dash.
Yeah, that's my little carousel horsepower.
That is a 6-person shelter.
I guess it's limited by the beds and food.
I guess. I mean,
I feel like
it'd be more about rations than it would bed. I mean, you could throw a pile of clothes on the floor and call it a nap.
Director Faden.
But yeah, it's,
one thing.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, one thing to check out is look at the guns everybody is holding from the security squad. None of them have what you would call an easily recognizable gun. Oh, almost fell to my death there. And the reason for that is it comes up in the beginning where they talk about, hey, you don't want to bring anything into the old house that is kind of a unique item or something that is the epitome of an item, like the ideal. So none of them have like the M16, which has a bunch of like kind of hey, this is what society thinks about this weapon. Like the AK-47 has so much opinion and gestalt built up around it that, you know, it would react in the old house. So some of them are carrying French World War II guns, kind of squad support weapons. And then a lot of them are...
It's based on what people in mass know about the weapon?
Yeah, so there's less of a chance of it becoming an object of power if it's something that the collective unconscious doesn't think about.
Oh, okay. So it's given value not because of... it's given value based on human opinion.
Right.
Okay.
So, whereas... Just spitballing, and I love this just from a world building example because it never really goes into it, like what the security guards are carrying. But some of them are carrying Belgian weapons, and then those French like trench support machine guns. But like the M16 had a kind of a rumor during Vietnam that it was like jam a whole lot and got a bunch of people killed. So you don't want the oldest house playing with that.
Okay.
I mean, the AK-47 with, I just rewatched Jackie Brown recently with Samuel L. Jackson's line, when you absolutely have to kill every motherfucker in the place except no substitute. It's like, that's also probably not something you want happening in the oldest house.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do a little bump the mic there for good measure.
Oop. Polygons.
Yeah.
Paranatural.
Yes. Above nature.
Yeah. I do like...
Basic.
Well, go ahead.
I was just going to say, this is basically just talking about the way things appear in other realities in kind of the nature of things of the oldest house. We'll come back to this place.
That's so paranatural. It sort of reminds me of... Oh, I can't remember which book it was, but it was in one of the Hitchhiker's Guide series. When, like, the government... When... strange things had began to happen and no one really understood what was going on, and the government came out and released a statement. It says, yes, no, we're not going to be calling these supernatural or paranormal because that would imply that you have an idea of what these things are. No, we're going to call them super normal so that we can still keep a leg up on you.
Yeah. And we'll come back to that previous place there in a little while. There's some interesting things to discover there. But currently, power plant time. I feel like this game opens up just enough. It's not like wildly open worldy or maze-like. It's just there's some extra stuff to go do when you feel like it, or if you want to unlock some different stuff.
I got you.
Hey, one of my most hated enemies.
They explode really well.
They're these suicide creatures what scream really loud and scare the shit out of you.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like those in any game. Specifically, the Fallout 4 Super Mutants.
Oh yeah, the with the nukes.
Yeah.
Also, they leave so much stuff that blocks your vision, which I guess is purposeful and it looks pretty. Well, I'm sure we'll never encounter those guys again.
What's your character's name again?
Jesse Faden.
Jesse. Is she forklift certified?
You know, I feel like it. The way she talks about holding odd jobs and working like blue-collar gigs, it seems like she probably picked up forklift certification. And I will say, as a person who works in an area where we like forklift certify people all the time, it takes about 5 minutes to get it done.
Shh. You're making it sound less cool.
You do a little training course, and then somebody builds a little obstacle course for you to drive around.
Oh yeah, mine. When I got certified, I watched like a 10-minute video. Took a test of which the instructor gave me the answers, and then he told me to go drive around the parking lot.
Oh, and now we're introduced to our next mechanic. Put the battery with this thing to open doors.
It's like aggressive portal puzzles.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw this Hollywood light at you and not fall down. Ah, shit. Thankfully, I unlocked the shotgun.
I kind of like... So... I do like the ammo is not necessarily... Ooh. I do like the ammo is not necessarily a commodity in this one. In which it's something that you have to covet and be real careful with, that it just kind of reloads over time. Because it seems like the game itself, because it gives you mixed mechanics to where the gun is sort of just an additional tool without it being a necessity. Like, you could, it seems as though if you wanted, you could just actively just fight lobbing objects at the enemy.
Oh yeah, and you can level up the way you want to play. Like, there are ways to get those little personal mods to just make your weapons more efficient or have more ammo and things like that.
Yeah.
And there's also like ways to level up your character. We're like, hey, I want to make it so that telekinetic throw doesn't cost anything. You won't get it to 0, but you can get it to where you can kind of fire off without worry.
Yeah. That was kind of like why I liked the combat mechanics in the first Mass Effect, because it was essentially infinite ammo. You just had to keep your gun from overheating. And then in 2 and 3, they gave the illusion that you had to conserve ammo, but even on hard difficulty, everything was just dropping ammo.
Did Ati mean barrels full of hazardous biological material?
So it didn't really feel necessary to just replace that mechanic.
Breaking some environmental regulations on waste disposal, but if that's what Ati wants, then I'll.
So there's a little side quest given by Audie. We just we're responsibly disposing of hazardous material.
That hurts the eyes.
It's bright. So bright.
If you've ever looked into a metal foundry, it's kind of like that.
This I always miss a single barrel in this, and I don't know how. It's a tiny ass room.
Oh, you have to. Okay, so it's like you have to find all the barrels. Hey, there it is.
I feel like this is the voice they use every time they need a crazy scientist. Like Tannis from Borderlands.
Yeah.
The furnace can speak. It's been talking to me for some time now.
I suppose, so Peter Lorre was still relevant, even his caricature anyway was relevant even into the 90s, and he's just kind of been phased out. I haven't seen him used anymore. I am going very mad.
Yeah, I mean, how many people remember Casablanca and things like that these days? So I don't know that. I mean, Looney Tunes did quite a lot of his impressions.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Hey.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and this lady's talking about the furnace wanting blood, so she's fine.
I'm sure. Some of this feels Bioshocky as well.
Go on.
Just some of the with the power, like it's basically the collection of the powers and the collection of the audio tapes.
Oh yeah.
I'll say it's reminiscent of it. I'm not going to say it's like directly copying it.
And for those sharp-eyed there, I basically did the thing where you pretend to throw the baseball and let it drop behind you, only with telekinesis.
On purpose.
This guy being really pissed off that the pneumatic tubes aren't working like they're supposed to.
Yeah,
and his expense report got rejected.
You could tell he was yelling. He wrote in all caps.
Little barrel? Not one of the barrels we're looking for. Just regular barrels.
I'm seeing a lot of flammable stickers. I want to be careful about throwing stuff around just all willy-nilly.
So, interestingly enough, the yellow ones there, not technically flammable. That would be the old-style combustible, I believe.
Oh, okay.
So, contents under pressure when they get hot will explode.
Gotcha. I should know this.
I don't know that they've changed too much, but your flammable is always going to be the red number 3. I buy and go over these things in massive quantities at work. And there are kind of it's a standardized system in the United States, and for the most part Canada. There's a few that are a little different, but
They are interchangeable. In the field, well, I'll just say I don't think it really matters. I work for the railroad, so there is a lot of interchange between Canada and the U.S. So a lot of our stickers will be interchangeable. I don't think they use anything that's too terribly different from what we have. But like the one that you don't necessarily want to see whenever you're riding along is you become what's called a key train when you have the skull and crossbones.
That's all of them.
Do y'all have RSSM tags?
Define those for them. We might call them something else.
If it's not, it might, or RSSM basically, it would be like chlorine.
Oh, as far as like gas displacement. So we have the toxic gases and things like that.
The reason you don't have RSSM, I actually had to look it up. It's rail security sensitive materials.
Okay, so no, generally our stuff mostly goes by freight. Once it gets to a plant, it will get to ship out on train and things like that. But back to the game here.
Yeah. Didn't mean to get sidetracked there. We're just talking about occupation, which makes for riveting material, I'm sure.
Suddenly, the corridors we're walking down have become a cave system from Skyrim.
Nice.
And Kool-Aid palms.
Woo.
Well, how do we turn them on? Well, we gotta find the battery and stick it in the thing.
Fix it fast.
Resident Evil style.
Plant goes boom. We can throw the spoon in the core.
You got it, Adi.
You know, this is like totally one of those games where somewhere down the road, Audi turns out to be like a Greek god, like a very specific one.
My old enemy, the clog, is blocking the pipes.
This definitely seems like one of those games that would do that, like just bring in Greek mythology.
Yeah.
That looks like
Trying to sneak
anime I once saw.
his hand in the fish.
Sure, anime, not hentai. Yeah, this is Ati's old enemy, the clog, which is apparently like a sentient chud.
It's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen.
It's a poo demon.
Yeah. It's, what was that? Dogma. It's the Golgothan.
Mm.
The excremental.
Ugh.
Yeah, you just gotta watch the poo water here and I don't want to get the poo on me. So, spoilers, we don't see Jessie showering at any point in this game, so I can only assume.
She smells
That-
lovely.
Yeah, and it just sticks with you forever. Blech. It's like the bog of eternal stench in here.
I, without any shame, love that movie.
I don't know if there's any real need to be ashamed of it. It's fantastic. There's a mini golf game that actually has a VR component, and they released a Labyrinth DLC, so you play mini golf through the Labyrinth.
Oh, that'd be cool if
Sections
you
of
like
it.
just like bump into like Hoggle or something like that.
Hoggle's there, the tiny worm with the scarf.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it was named.
Yeah.
Come on, meet the missus.
Come inside, have a cup of tea. And
We need to fix this thing ASAP.
let me see, and the doors, the one that tells the truth, the one that tells lies, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. It was really weird. She solved the riddle, but still got it wrong somehow.
Well, or she solved the riddle and went the correct way. It just happens that, you know, it's still dangerous.
Mm.
An interesting thing is whenever you're near a janitor buggy, it is generally accompanied by either Ati singing or some music that Ati is listening to at the time.
Oh, okay.
With no real kind of radio or anything like that. But now that we've cleared out the poo.
Yeah, he did have a Walkman at one point earlier, I remember. Cooling water.
Yeah. I'm gonna hit somebody with a battery.
That'd be great if you just like walked around and like Audie just happened to be a fan, a fan of what was that band? The Darkness. I believe in a thing called love.
I believe in the thing called love. Oh. Yep, and they seal you off in these little combat encounters, which I gotta say, I'm enjoying the combat a lot more this go through. My first playthrough, incredibly frustrating. It ended up kind of adjusting the difficulty sliders so it was a lot more manageable. But if you keep rotating through, throwing stuff, shooting, and using one to kind of cover the other, then the combat is quite manageable and kind of comes out on top. I wonder if they've made some adjustments since the first time I played it on PlayStation. Thankfully, all the batteries are right near the pumps. They let me grow this box and throw it for no reason.
There go the pipes. Nothing more satisfying.
Oh man. Well, I guess Futurama was popular enough that they would get that reference.
It's still going, apparently.
Is it?
Or something's still going. I see it pop up. Everything.
It's so funny. I think Matt Groening must have exclusive rights to it because it's been canceled and then reinstated on different networks, which I'm happy for.
Yeah.
I like the UFO noises it makes when you pull stuff.
Yeah, just the whoop. So you'll see a couple of times. My favorite thing that can happen in this game is if you telekinetically grab something from behind someone, so it smacks them in the back of the head, and then you throw it, smacking them in the front of the head.
Nice.
It's so good, and it's so silly, but it just works. Stop shooting me! Just a simple button press to switch between modes. So it is actually really fun to just switch between the ammo. All the ammo shares the same cooldown though. So you're not like being more efficient.
If you swap between guns, it still has to cool down. Okay. That's fair.
So yeah, it's more about the situation you need it for rather than trying to manage a cooldown. Ooh, bad getting a compressor in the face.
Glad I never had to have that.
Yeah. Apparently there's still someone left because everything's blocked off. Yeah. Just take a little peek.
So
our laundry is done.
This is the cooling system for the paranormal reactor?
Yes.
Okay.
And hey, it's the next enemy type. Yep, kind of a boss.
Oh, and he's gonna armor health. He's gonna armor health bar.
Yeah, so his shield, which regenerates and sucks, you just really can't pierce it without, super concentrated fire.
And he's
and
also
a shotgun. Oh yeah. I don't know why it's so fun to smack people with something.
Kind of looks like I just don't know what else to call it. I'm not saying it directly. It's from Fallout, but it kind of has like a power armor look, or was a what is a not a power armor, but that looks like a bomb disposal suit.
Yeah, that's what it is. It is from real life for once. It is a bomb disposal, like full explosive protection suit. Oh yeah, I forgot to look at these weird ass things.
Oh, okay, and it highlights where the weak parts are.
Yeah. And it's also conveniently where the glowing parts are, so
Yeah.
you know.
Video games.
Also, they're really good at yoga.
Yep. Yeah, I always had trouble doing the broken half scorpion pose.
I'm gonna be honest. I've only I did Tai Chi for a little bit and was amazed at how like, oh, my body is not ready for this level of flexibility. You can see the fungus, the black mold that people are talking about, has kind of overtaken the rafters there, which may come up later.
Did you see that where supposedly J.K. Rowling like was doing a video inside of her home and it's just covered in, like, some of the walls are just covered in black mold?
Yeah, I saw that pop up, although I tend to try and just push anything from her into the background.
Well, I didn't, I'll be completely honest, I didn't read the full article, but I just do know that one of the symptoms of black mold can alter your way of thinking.
Yeah, so I mean,
it can affect you cognitively, let me say it that way.
It would be awesome if we could explain all of her bad behavior away on, oh, take a rocket to the face, on just being poisoned.
Crazy.
Yeah. So I've only seen the memes and like the reaction to it. I haven't really delved into it at all.
Nah, I haven't heard. I don't care about it enough.
Anyway, little fight scene here as they try and retake the reactor.
Were they shooting at each other?
No, there are actually some NPCs helping you out in this fight here. The
okay.
guys on the upper floors.
Okay, the blue ones.
They do a passable job of actually like distracting everything. If nothing else.
Hey, you take bullets. I wish you could throw the forklift.
I don't know that you can't, but you might have to level up your lift ability.
I mean, she's already picking up some
crap.
pretty heavy stuff. It's all getting very slimy down here.
Yeah. Might put on a respirator. Oh, there we go. Did have a couple of people lose their lives here.
Yeah.
And that guy is almost dead.
They didn't have names.
You okay there, buddy? Oh, this is what I was looking at. This is a little bullpup with the magazine dump at the base of the gun, like near the butt. Very interesting designs. Actually, there's a mod for the Mosin Nagant that turns it into something like that, which is very interesting.
Blockages in pipe C.
Hey, buddy, what were you doing?
F. Is the clock back? Fruit feels a lot safer when you're around.
Yeah, I go around shooting stuff, man.
I should be going.
Wish I could
I just
say the
came to
same
say.
you.
You got a lot down the lift.
I came to say I cannot stay. I must be going. But that is actually going to put us pretty close to winding down for this time. Do a couple of level ups, spend some points here. But thanks everyone for watching, and please like and subscribe if you're enjoying what we're going through. And we will see you next time on I've Got Next, joined as always by Smeef Erickson.
We'll see ya.